Good morning, good evening. So I don't know what time you're watching this video, but this is the hands-on demonstration, no? Last term, if you remember, we discussed the different data approaches. And right now, what are we going to do is basically I'll be demonstrating you on how can we use those data approaches in actually analyzing some data or data that we have in order for us to get more meaningful information. So paano nga ba yun? So we have the four data approaches. So one would be is the sorting when we arrange the data. Next is the classifying wherein we predetermine the group of the data depende kung ano yung requirements. Next is we also have the computation or the calculation rather. So wherein we do calculations, we use arithmetic functions, no, wherein we want to get probably the average, the total, the percentage, so on and so forth. No. And the last would be is the summarizing, where we get a tiny bit of those information, no, wherein we can give more detail, not so detailed, but technically a complete discussion of your overall data. So what are those? So in order for us to actually create a good analysis of the data, we have to do the different approaches first, wherein we try to sort them, we sort our data, we clean our data, we classify them, and so on and so forth. So, in this specific demonstration, I wanted to follow this one. I'll be giving you this empty file, and then follow me as I am doing this one, so that on the in session or on the face-to-face session, we'll be having some discussion on what you guys did during or before the session. So again, ang gagawin natin ngayon is basically we'll try to do the four different data approaches. So first is we'll list or at least here some of the tasks to do for this data. So we have here a raw data about if we assume, no, this is about students name, section, and then course, and then their what they call this subjects, and then with their grades. So we also have here we'll left blank for the average grade, and then yun, this is such a raw data wherein if you can see here, it is not arranged. We did not do anything about it. So first is let's go over to another sheet file in here. This is our task, no? Para guided lang kayo. So first here, hindi naman to siya in order. Kasi there are things in here or there are tasks in here na kailangan mo mauna muna sa isang task in order to complete the other task. So technically connected silang lahat. So first is, we will be doing this one. We will be sorting students alphabetically by last name. So how can we do that? In Google Sheet, we do that by actually uh, clicking the column. So this is what we call the column, the A, B, C, D. These are all columns. The 1, 2, 3, 4, these are all what we call the rows. So when I say C2, we are referring to column C and then number 2 in a row. So we are referring to letter A. So parang ganun. So before we do our task, we have to arrange first the look of our data. So, depende na yan sa inyo. But usually, what are we going to do is, we will be arranging all the header file. So, first, for example, this one. We need to change this one, maybe to format this one into bold, para lang malaman natin that these are all the header names. Okay? Next is, kung mapapansin nyo, if we scroll, so we have a lot of data in here, no? So if we scroll, nawawala na yung context natin sa taas or what we call the metadata, no? Yung na-discuss natin, nawawala yung label niya. So what we want to do is, we want to make this sticky, meaning to say, if we scroll down, mag-change yung content or the data, but the metadata will stay there. So how can we do that? We can do that by clicking the row 1, and then head on to view, and then freeze, and then up to row 1. So meaning to say, this whole row 1 will be freezed. Even we scroll down, this will not move. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng more detailed information because hindi na natin kailangan mag-scroll up. Okay? Another one would be this will be look more, let's say, more organized. Okay? So, what are we going to do now is let's make all of the information probably put in the center. So, Control A, and then just center it. Okay? And then the next one is, I think, pwede naman nalagyan nyo ng color, which I believe you all know how to fill color. No? So, for example, we'll fill this into light blue. So, you can just drop, no? Sorry, pwede naman siyang shift, then click nyo lang yung column, then drop natin ang kulay. So, probably mga ganyan. This is formatting. Next is, we'll try to do the task. So again, the first is we have to sort students alphabetically by last name. So how can we do that? So we can do that by clicking the column. Since we are tasked to do the last name, we'll click the column A, which is the column of the last name. And then what are we going to do is, we'll click the data. We click sort range. Since gusto natin A to Z, so A to Z ang pindutin natin. Another shortcut way is right-click, sort sheet A to Z. So when you click, automatically, magsusort na siya. Lahat ng info will be sorted based on the last name. So first is Adams and the rest. Okay? So we are done sorting this one. So, para lang malaman natin na nagawa nyo na for the next reference, maybe we can just screenshot this one, no? Para malagay lang natin, kahit hindi na lahat. Ilalagay lang natin sa ating task. For example, in here. Para makita lang na kung anong nangyari after we did it. So, sorting, and then, copy lang natin yung yung task. Okay? So, technically, nagawa naman natin. And then, right after that one, we go over with classifying. We have here, group students based on their section. So, kanina, we group them based on alphabetically, sort them alphabetically. Now, we want them to group. So, we'll put in here the classifying. Para lang, malagay natin later ang result. And then, we'll get the problem. Lagay natin, and then lagay na natin a section. For example, we'll start with section A. So, let's go back to our data. So, this is our data. How can we classify this one? Again, now we want them to group. Lahat ng makikita natin dapat gusto natin more on the section A lang muna. So, since alam natin that we are dealing with section, so we are going to click the column C. And then right after this one is we click the data. And then right after we click the data, we can create a filter. So we'll filter them based on their section. So after that, you will be able to see this symbol in here. So we'll click this one, and then we'll uncheck. We'll uncheck lahat ng iba. So we'll left with A, section A. So we are seeing now all of this one are section A. So we screenshot, and then we put this one to our task in here. So those are the section A. So we go over with section B. Okay. Next is section B naman. So same process, but palitan lang natin na B instead of A. And then, there you go. So lahat ng yan is section B. So we'll just screenshot so that we'll know na na-sort natin siya. And then right after that one, we also put the section C. If you follow me, pwede naman ganitong format din ang gawin nyo. Snipping pa rin, pero pwedeng mas maayos dito. For the demonstration purposes lang naman to. For section C, same procedure. Uncheck the B and then check the C. And then same way, you snip or you screenshot. And then you copy. And then you just paste in here. Okay, so we are done with first problem in classifying. Next is, second problem is this one. Categorize students based on their average grade into the following classification, and so on and so forth. But then again, if you go back in here, you remember, wala pa tayong total average grade of each student. So, technically, ang gagawin natin is, kailangan muna natin bigyan ng average grade. So, we cannot do this yet. So, we try to look for calculating. So, in calculating, we are tasked to compute the average grade per student. Okay? So, we have to compute. How to compute? In average, you can use the average function. Again, lahat ng ginagamit niya dito is what we call the function. We are all calling the function to do it for us. No? Meaning to say, tawagin natin C equal to average, meaning to say, siya nang gagawa nun. And then, i-specify lang natin kung ano yung i-average niya. So, we have here, column of E starts with the row 2 to column of I and row 2. So, if we click that one, pwedeng tab nyo na lang. Okay? And then, okay din siya. And then, right after this one, you can just drop it. Meaning to say, isa lang nilagyan nyo, pero lahat na to magkakaroon ng iba't ibang average based sa column nila and row nila. So, we drop this one, click yung sa may circle, the button, and then this one. Okay? And then, right after this one, we already have our average grade. So, meaning to say, we're already done with this task. So, i-green na lang natin lahat ng mga tapos na task para makita ninyo. So, tapos na to. Tapos na rin ito. And then, this one, hindi pa tapos. Tapos na to. So, since we already have our average grade, magagawa na natin ngayon yung itong categorization. Okay? So, unlike sa categorization natin kanina, which is we filter lang, no? Kasi based lang naman siya sa section. Ngayon, kailangan naman natin i-group sila accordingly. Okay? So, we have to copy and paste this one para makita natin kung ano ba yung range, no? Ano ba yung range? Okay? So, we have here 90 to 100, excellent. 80 to 89, very good. 70 to 79, and so on and so forth. So, how can we do this one sa ating formula in here? We can add another header, which is, we can call a, sorry. This is, ganito talaga nangyayari kapag naka-freeze siya, no? So, we can change it to grade scale. And then, dito natin ilalagay kung yung average grade daw is 90 to 100, therefore, ma-identify niya na excellent yun siya. So, how can we do that formula? So, in here, since we are using scale, no? Pwede natin gamitin yung function na if 77, therefore, good siya dapat. Okay? So, paano siya i-translate dito? So, if we want to translate that one, we'll be using equal sign. We'll be using the function of if. And then, we can put in here, opening and closing parentheses, we'll put, ano ba yung gusto natin i-compare? We want to compare, right, the 77. So, anong position is 77? The position of the 77 is under the column J and row 2. So, this is, bale, if we combine, this is the J2. So, if we type J2 is greater than or equal to 90, okay? And then J2 ulit is less than or equal to 100. Therefore, ang gusto natin mangyari ay lalabas ay excellent. And then, we have it, comma. Kasi syempre may continuation pa tayo. But do not forget as well na kailangan natin i-check both. So, kailangan natin ng word na and. So, this is a logical and operator. Meaning to say, kapag pasok siya both J2 and this part in here and then this part in here, kapag pasok siya, kapag true ang sagot, ang lalabas ay excellent. Okay? Meaning to say, kapag yung average grade ay nasa range ng 90 to 100, average excellent ang lalabas. Okay? What about kapag hindi? So, kailangan natin maglagay ng isa pang if wherein, ito naman yung mag-check ng range if makapasok siya sa 80 to 89. So, kailangan natin ilagay if and J2 is greater than 80 but J2 less than 90. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ko nilagay na greater than or equal to 89. It's because kapag may decimal point later on, hindi tutugma yung ilalabas na grade scale niya. So, we make sure na kahit decimal point, pasok pa rin siya. Okay? So, kapag ganito yung range, we put very good. Okay? So, kapag wala naman sa ganitong range, then, lalagay naman tayo ng if and G2 is greater than or equal to 70, then G2 is less than 80. Same way, no? Hindi ko siya nilagyan ng 79 para pasok pa rin yung mga ibang mga nasa decimal point. Then, kung ganun nga, good ang nilalagay natin. Okay? Remember, when we are using the AND operator, we want our conditions in here sa loob to be true. Meaning to say, pasok siya sa both na sinet natin na conditional. If true, saka lalabas yung ito. Okay? This is the else or the output statement. But, kapag yung ito is false, then magpo-proceed tayo sa ibang if or conditionals. So, kapag false pa rin diretso dito, magpo-proceed pa rin dito. So, hahanapin niya kung saan ba talaga exact na pwedeng pasok sa condition yung specific number na kino-compare natin, which is J2 at the moment. So, if lahat hindi siya pasok sa lahat ng sinet natin, therefore, our default is, it means, needs improvement siya. Okay? So, after this one, we have to close lahat ng mga opening parentheses. First, this one. We have to close this one. Okay, 1. We have to close this one as well. So, 2. And then the last one, meron pang isa dito, we have to close this one as well. So, this is 3. Okay? So, if we read this one in an English statement, it will say like, if J2 is greater than or equal to 90, I mean, if J2 is greater than or equal to 90, and J2 is less than or equal to 100, therefore, it is excellent. If we read it again sa isa pang condition in an English statement, it will be fall under if J2 is greater than 80, sorry, kulang kayo na pasok pa rin si equal to 80. If greater than or equal to 80 and J2 is less than 90, therefore, it is very good or under very good. Now, if hindi pa rin pasok sa lahat ng conditional, as ulit, if J2 is greater than or equal to 70 and J2 is less than 80, therefore, it is good. Else, or otherwise, walang pasok sa condition, therefore, it is needs improvement. Ganon siya sa English statement. So, when we enter, we hope to see the average grade for 70 to 77 is under good. So, our answer here is correct. Now, 86 is under very good. But, hindi na natin to isa-isahin, right? What we can do, if tama naman na yung formula, we can just drop up until the last number. Okay? So, although may mga shortcut din tayo doon. Okay, so if we check, 86 is very good. 86.8, it's very good. 91, pasok sa excellent. Okay? So, lahat ng yan is basically nakakategorize na siya. They are grouped based on the grade scale. So, meaning to say, our task on categorizing is already done. So, we just highlight this. Next is, find the average score of all students in each subject. So, how can we do that? Pwedeng ganito, gawa tayo ng bagong column, which is the math average. Anong kasunod? Science, English, no? Science, average, English, average. Then, we have here programming, average. Average yan ha, total. Tapos, we also have here database, average. So, we can just make this maybe ibang kulay para lang may ano siya, sariling kulay niya, and we know that this is just for the average, no? So, what can we do is, same way, since we're talking about average, therefore, we will be using the function average. So, paano ba yan? Equals to average, then, ano yung nasa loob ng range? Kung ano yung ipapa-average nyo. So, technically, ipapa-average natin, di ba? The math. So, from E2 to hanggang saan yan. So, let's say, E2 to E101. Pwede rin naman E2 to E, meaning to say, lahat ng nasa under E, no, kasali siya. So, but if specific, hanggang E101 row lang. So, when we enter, lalabas ang average. Okay? So, this is 85.57. So, the average of the mathematics grade is 85.57. Now, what's the average naman for the science? So, same way, same process, average, then, pwede nyong i-type, pwede nyong gawin yung same sa ginawa ko, F2 to F101. Okay? Yan. So, 84 sa science. Sa English naman, same way, average. And then we are just getting the column name, column letter. So, column G, G2 to G101. Okay? So, 86.13. Sa programming, average, this is H2 to H11. And then we also have here the database average, which is average. And yung sa loob is I2 to I101. Okay? So we all now have the average. We'll make it center para mas maayos siya tingnan. And then center. Okay? So we all have here, we know now na dito pa lang makikita nyo na sa lahat ng subject pala, lahat, halos mababa silang lahat sa programming. Okay? Tapos, mataas rin sila sa English. So, in this way, dito pa lang, in this small steps of data approaches, we can now look, no, we can now gather information as to ano bang sinasabi ng data natin. Okay? So far, ang sinasabi sa atin ng data sa atin is that the lowest grade that the students usually, no, or almost had is the 83.23, which is sa subject ng programming. Matataas naman sila sa English. To be followed by database. To be followed by database, and then math, and then, yon, science, second to the lowest. So, dyan, makakuha kayo ng information. So, technically, we are done with this calculating. Okay? Next is, we want to count the number of students per course. Okay? Para mas maganda na naman, we put another header in here. So, gawin natin to count the number of per course. So, let's say, per course, we have here, pwede natin gawin, since tatlo lang course, pwede natin to merge, and then, course, number of students per course para mas complete siya. Per course. So, we put this in the middle. Pwede natin lagyan ng fill color na yellow pa rin. And then, in here, pwede natin lagyan ng what course is the first one? We have the three. We have information technology, computer science, and software engineering. Information technology, computer science, and software engineering. So, kung gusto nyo ilaki nyo lang siya. Okay? And then, sobrang laki naman. And then, the other one as well, para makita lang natin. So, how can we count this one? So, dito pala, makikita nyo na kung anong function ang gagamitin, which is the count. In Google Sheets, meron tayong function na what we call is count. So, we can use that one in here. So, count, no? Kapag count lang, we count the number. So, kapag count A, we also count the number of values in the data set. We have also here count if, which is we count depende sa kung anong condition. So, I think pasok tayo dito. Kasi condition natin is count lang natin if IT or information technology siya. So, count if, tapos, we put in here kung saan ba tayo magka-count, anong range ba. So, when we're talking about courses, this is the D, no? Ito yung range niya. So, andito yung mga courses. So, count if the range D to D is, maglalagay tayo na asterisk, no? If information technology. Okay? So, if we translate this one in English, is that count if the course is information technology. Parang ganun yung sinasabi niya. So, if we enter, we know that we have 89. Okay? 89 na, 29 na information technology. And then how about computer science? Pwede nyo copy-paste, since same lang naman sila ng range, which is yung section, which is yung course, palitan nyo lang ng computer science. Okay? And then, same way, copy and paste, and then change na lang ito to software engineering. So, in this part in here, you'll notice na malalaman nyo that 49 of software engineering, the lowest course we have for this data is the computer science. Okay? Para mas ano sa inyo is that you can mark that one usually kapag sa mga data, kapag lowest red, kapag highest green. So, dito sa taas, our lowest is 84. So, we fill this color to red. Our highest is the English. So, we fill this one to green. So, if we fill this one to green, and then the other one naman in here sa baba, the highest is software engineering, which is green, and then the lowest is the computer science. So, in this part, nagkaka-idea na kayo kung ano nangyayari sa data nyo. Nalalaman nyo na lahat pala, halos lahat pala, konti lang pala ang sa computer science, mas marami palang software engineering, so on and so forth. So, again ha, hindi lang ito ang magagawa nyo sa data nyo, but these are just the tasks for the demonstration purposes. You can do a lot of it. Maraming analysis pa pwedeng gawin sa data na to. Hindi lang ito. Okay? So, we are done with counting the number per course. So, right after this one, we need to do that. Identify the top 3 based on their average grade. So, how can we do that? Right, so how can we do that? We can make this one in here para makita lang natin, no, that this is the top 3 students with the highest grades. So, we can merge this one. Top 3 highest grades. And then bold this one, make it center, and then fill this with a yellow color pa rin, and then we can go proceed with the formula. So what can we do is we need to, if we use the average function, we use here the count function, dito naman we can do the filter function. Although there are many other ways, like you can also do query in here. Maraming paraan na pwedeng gawin itong top 3 highest grades. But the most easy version is this one, filter, no? So, you filter the range, kung ano ba yung gustong range natin. So, we want our range from A, no? A to J. So, meaning to say, hanggang average talaga. No? A2 to J. So, lahat yan i-filter. And then, i-compare natin is yung from J2 to whole J column, no? So, compare natin if it is greater than or equal to large. So, i-compare yan sila. Tapos, we have here J2 to J. So, compare lang in each. And then, sa lahat ng, sa lahat ng kinumpare, which among this range, okay, have the highest grades. That's why we put 3. See? So, we hit the enter. So, we got si Martinez Evelyn, which is from Section C, Information Technology, and then we have here the grades, no? And then we get the 93, 93, and 91. So, ito yung top 3 natin. Extend lang natin ito hanggang dito. Para mas proper siya. Merge lang natin. So, ganito. So, we have the 3, which is this one, si Martinez, and yung dalawang Nelson. So, we got their average grade, which is the 93. Para mas maayos siya tingnan, pwede nyo siya lagyan ulit sa taas ng header name ng nato. Ito dito. Pwede nyo ilagay dito. Para mas malinis siya tignan. Hindi nyo huhulaan kung at may math, English, para malagay nyo lang later on. So, for now, at least nakuha lang natin yung average na may pinakamataas na grades. So, we go back to our task. We are done with this one. Now, we proceed on. Now, how we'll mark this? Now, we proceed on the last task, which is the summarizing din, yung identify how many students fall into each classification. Ilan ba yung nagka-excellent, very good, and needs for improvement. So, pwedeng gumamit ng pwede nyong gawin dito. So, this one, number of grade scale, number of students per grade scale. Okay. And then bold, and then make it center, same lang, then yellow. And then we can put in here, first is, dapat pala to 4. Kasi we have 4 classification, right? And then, all right, so we have first the excellent, the very good, and then the good, and then the other one naman is the needs improvement. So, same way, pwede lang natin gamitin yung count if kanina, count if lang natin yung K. So, ginamit natin dito count B, no? So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is count if lang natin to column K. So, equals to count if K to K, pwedeng K to K or K to K101 para specific, pero K to K, pwede lang din yan. And then, lagay natin dito, excellent. Ilan yung excellent? Okay? And then we hit, close natin, we hit enter. So, 12. Sorry, nabura. So, and i-gitna lang natin, then we bold it. And then in here, ilan naman yung very good. Pwedeng copy-paste na lang to. Then, palitan nyo na lang yung nasa loob. Don't forget how may asterisk yan siya dito. So that we are following talaga yung ano yung exact word. So, very good is 79. Dito naman is good. Okay. And then, needs improvement. I think wala ata. Okay, so 0. So far, if you check, wala namang needs improvement. And if we check in here, we will know that lahat sila nakapasa. If yung grade scale natin is yung needs for improvement is yung failed. So technically, if we analyze this one, lahat sila nakapasa, lahat din sila very good, though 12 lang ang excellent. May mga 9 din na good. But then again, maganda pa rin ang result because needs improvement is wala. So basically, later on, with all the data that you did, with all the things that you did with your data in here, how were you going now to write an analysis about this one? So based sa meron ka dito, you will now write an analysis. Okay? So mag-write ka na ba that you found out that based on this data, you got that the most lowest average grade that the student have is 84.61, which is in the course of or in the subject of science. And yung mga pinakamataas sila is in English. Okay, number of students EU-based is 22 for computer science, 49 for engineering, and so on and so forth. So lahat ng yan is will be going to help you in your decision making. So as a teacher, for example ako, if makita kong ganito ang data ko, tapos ako yung science teacher nila, so technically, maybe there's something wrong on the teaching and learning process or in teaching and learning experience. So, maybe yung material ko ba kulang? Maybe kulang pa ba ng so on and so forth. So, right after you get this data, mag-a-analyze na naman kayo ng different data wherein, paano nga ba naging mababang grade nila sa science? So, another data na naman ang tignan nyo. So, parang ganun siya. And then, for computer science, parang ganun, lahat ng ito is basically will give you an idea on how to give a wise decision making. So, kapag later on, gagamit tayo ng data more on naman about sa probably on medical records. Para makita natin or para matutunan nyo paano mag-analyze. But for now, that is all, no? Kindly list down all of the formula. You'll be needing that one on the discussion later on. But for now, that's all. And explore this, explore data, no? Because you will really find more solution in data. So I'll see you on our session. Thank you so much.